mandola amp on?
No, it shouldn't be.
Because I'm not getting any of that noise up here.
It's the monitor. Jonathan, it's the monitor. It's the monitors that are crackling. If they're just going to crackle, we can do it now.
I just muted them.
Okay. Thank you, everybody. Hello, hi. This is the Middle School Instrumental Ensemble, today known as the Royal Chicken. This first tune that we're going to play for you is a Brazilian choro. That's a style of music from Brazil. This is by a mandolin player, mandolin, which is their version of a mandolin player, and it's called My Prelude. Those of you who took piano lessons will recognize the beginning of the famous Bach C major prelude. He takes that and then takes it somewhere else. So I hope you enjoy it. Here we go. Ready? Ready, everybody? 1, 2, 1.
famous Ukrainian klezmer tunes, and it gets its name from a wedding tradition. At the end of the wedding ceremony, the whole wedding party would accompany the married couple away, and the musicians played this song in the street while they were walking to their new home, the street tune.
By great pianist Herbie Hancock in 1964 for his fourth album. Some of you may remember it from way back in '93 when it was sampled in Cantaloupe by S3. Tonight we're playing Mr. Prince's arrangement for our band, and we're very excited for performing for you. Enjoy!
old jazz standard, The Shadow of Your Smile. It's going to feature our drummer, Eli. By the way, if you go to the QR code from outside, there's a little button for the set list, or it says the song list in the theater. It's got all the program notes, all the details. Thank you so much. Stick around next for the high school band.
and they have another copy of it.
That on the Muppets? That's not me. And I'm like, but I want it to be. That is actually so funny.
Oh, well, I mean, they said that I'm all over
Middle school ensemble. What happened to the copy that I had? Oh, I see it. It got shoved. Wait a minute. Here we go. This is nice little ensemble. This is the one with the book.
Hey, a little bit, mandola testing. Go ahead, please.
Can I hear the mandola a little bit?
Go ahead, play, Ben.
A bit more than that.
All right.
Hang on.
All right, we're ready to hit it.
That is good. That's about as good as it's going to get. Okay.
It's coming through here. We got the mic. David, is this live, Jonathan?
It is now.
Check. Okay. Yeah, don't touch it, David. David the younger is there. Yes. Yeah. Okay, are we all good? Very good. Yeah, very good.
Nasty, huh?
Hi, my name is Dara Mucker. This first piece is a piece that I composed for the advanced music class, and yeah, I hope you enjoy. It's called Endless Ember.
I'll just say a brief word. We are the High School Period 4 ensemble, this semester known as And of One. And you may or may not have noticed, if you go to follow the QR code that's posted around, if you're on that main page, there's a button to go to the song list for the theater. That has our program, and it also links to detailed program notes and bios of all the students who have arranged and written the music that you're hearing tonight. Almost every song you're going to hear from the high school tonight was written or arranged by a high schooler, including this next one. I'm going to let Ella tell you about that.
Hi, I'm Ella Arking, and this is Summertime Sadness by Lana Del Rey, and I arranged it.
Thank you, Ella. So while we get set for our last ensemble, I'll just remind everybody, if you follow the link, the QR code that we got out there, there's a button that says Song List for the Theater. If you click on it, there's the complete program of what we're doing, as well as bios and program notes by the students who've written music and arrangements. We are going to start off this set with two originals from our own Montreal Dianeem. I'm going to hand him the microphone. So, what's that?
Hello, my name is Andrew Dianeem, and I am a junior. We will first be playing a tune of mine called Do in the Morning, and then we will be playing another tune of mine that was an obligated and enforced assignment by Mr. Prince to create a 12-bar blues called the Had to Do Blues. I hope you enjoy it.
Yeah. Something's feeding back. Yeah. Whatever it was, process installed. Are we ready? I have you ready? Thank you. today known as Mr. Prince and the Frogs. This last tune that we're going to play is a Bulgarian dance, but we're going to do it in a kind of jazz progressive rock style. It's in 7/8 time, and the thing about this dance is it starts slow and then gets really fast, and then starts back over slow and then hopefully gets even faster. So I hope you enjoy. you so much for sticking around. Up next, Sheer Madness.